In this video, we'll talk about geology, how rocks are formed, weathering process, and soil formation. We'll start with this slide. There are two pictures. The picture on the left was taken in Brisbane. You will see that the rock formation, rock mass is very hard. The picture on the right hand side was taken on the Gold Coast, and you will see that this is actually the same rock type, but this rock is much loose and it's weathered. Some rock particles fall down and sometimes block the road here. We'll see why on the left hand side the rock is still hard and on the right hand side the rocks are loose. So the major issue between these two rocks is that the rock on the right hand side is weathered. And this is what we'll talk about next slide. As you may know from high school, there are two types of weathering. Mechanical weathering and chemical weathering. The one on the left hand side, you will see chemical weathering when rock changes its color. The original color is gray here, and when it's weathered it became brownish. So this part is weathering. This rock is much weathered. Mechanical weathering, it's when you can see something like this on the right hand side, when the rock didn't change much of each color, but you will see there is empty space in the rock. Mechanical weathering is typically due to changes in the temperature over time. For example, we have very high temperatures during summer and low temperatures in winter. Sometimes we have temperature variation during the day. Chemical weathering, the one that we see here, it's mostly because of the effect of water. Water interacts with rock, it changes its rock minerals. Rock minerals become clay minerals, and there is this color disintegration and rock disintegration as well. Of course, this weathering process affects the rock properties, because in general rocks are very hard and they can hold steep slope. But when it's weathered, as you will see here in this picture, which is taken on Gold Coast, you will see that it's not rock anymore. We have still pieces of rocks here, but most of the material, it's weathered rock, so it's soil. So soil mixed with rock, it's not very good foundation, either for slopes or buildings. And you will see that what can happen that if there is a heavy rainfall, this part slips. So this is actually a very good example of a landslide that may occur in weathered material on the slopes. Now we'll talk about rock cycle and soil formation. This is one of the major and fundamental theories that we use in geology. So you may know that there are three types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. What happens first is that at some point at the ground we have magma, which is melted rocks here. Then magma will go all the way up to the surface, and it can erupt, or it can actually form intrusive rocks inside the ground. Intrusive rocks, something like granite, or extrusive rocks when we have magma eruption, there will be extrusive rocks, something like basalt. So these rocks will form mountains, and over time these mountains will be weathered. Of course, it's going to take billions of time. So if mountain was before like this, you see now all this material was weathered and it was all gone. Where will all this material go? Of course, this material will go down the stream if we have rainfall like it's shown here, or it can also go to the rivers, and all these rivers will bring this material either to the surface, or it can also dump it in the ocean, forming sediments, and these sediments over time will form sedimentary rocks. So whatever we have here When it will densify, and when it becomes really hard, it will become sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks, something like sandstone, mudstone, that's what we have on Gold Coast. Then let's say there is some tectonic movements. This part may go down, and then when it will go down, that it will be affected by high temperatures and high pressures, because it's really deep in the ground. And because of these high temperatures and high pressures, these sedimentary rocks will turn into metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks actually are very good rocks in terms of properties. They're hard. One of the better examples that you may know, it's gneiss. So that's very hard rock. That is a good foundation. And then if it goes even deeper, it will go to the levels where we have very, very high temperatures. And these metamorphic rocks will melt, and it will form magma. And then it will complete the cycle, and then magma will go again up to the surface, form igneous rocks. Igneous rocks will be weathered. They will be brought down to the ocean to form sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rock may turn into metamorphic rocks, and metamorphic rocks into igneous rocks again. What is important for us in this course is this material, which we call soil. So soil, it's basically disintegrated particles of rocks. So if you know, soil can be of very fine material like clay, or it can be a coarse material like sand. This is a very good example that we have on Gold Coast at Tweed volcano. Billions of years ago, it was a great volcano with lots of magma going out of this. And then over time, probably thousands of years or even million years, all this material was weathered. Because it was on the surface, it was subjected to changes in the temperature, the effect of water, and it became something like this. So it changed the landscape. And then there was even more weathering over time, and this is what we see right now. All the material from this mountain, it was weathered, and it was all transported to the beaches. That's why we have now very nice beaches. So everything came from here. That was the mountain. And all the weathered material, which is mostly a sandy material, it all came here, forming what we have right now.